This was a good episode.
It was a pretty good one.
I think Joffrey's a little bitch.
Today on Board While Driving, Season 1, Episode 9 of HBO's Game of Thrones, Baelor. Directed by Alan Taylor and written by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. Okay, so the episode description reads, Ned makes a fateful decision. Catelyn brokers an unsavory deal with the slippery Walder Frey. We see Walder for the first time. Tyrion is forced by his father to fight on the front lines. Robb captures a prized prisoner. Spoiler alert, it's Jaime. Jon is rewarded for his valor and discovers a dark secret about Maester Aemon. Turns out he's a Targaryen. And as Drogo's wound festers, Dany defies Kotho and puts her trust in the enslaved witch Miri Maz-Dur. We find out that might not be the best idea. That and many more of our reactions coming right now on Board While Driving. Go to our website to find the links for where you can find out where to listen to us.
Back to the show, though. No more distractions.
Yeah, Joffrey's a little bitch.
Yeah, man, he just fucking lied. I wouldn't have lied. I would have been like, no, he's a bitch. I didn't do anything wrong. I had a feeling that was gonna happen too. I was like, yeah, he's too much of a dick.
To just let him join the Night's Watch and just go hang out with Jon Snow and tell him all about his mom.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. He's never gonna tell him.
No. You should have known that Ned Stark was gonna die the second that he said, next time I see you. Anytime a character in any movie or show says, the next time I see you,
yeah,
that's like the biggest
but sometimes
heads up
it's
moment that person is never gonna see that person again.
Most of the time, no, they do, but like as they're dying, and then they give the secret out.
Oh,
yeah,
right. You're right. Well, this is not that. This is not that.
It's like, you're.
This is not Peter Parker.
Mother.
This is not Peter Parker finding Uncle Ben still bleeding out next to his car. Like, this is much worse.
The treasure is in the... No! That's all I think of. Ned Stark. Bitch made. Died by being a traitor and also confessing. But I feel like the townsfolk...
Would you have done that?
No, because I would have known he's a liar. I'd be like, no, this guy's a little bitch. He's gonna kill me, so fuck him. Kill me, dude.
Go out like a G?
Yeah, because I think if he, said, yeah, you're a little bitch, and you're gonna kill me, so fuck you.
And you're not even a real
And you're not a king, I'll never say it, you're a dick. I'll never give you what you want, pretty much.
You're incest baby.
Yeah, just straight up.
Little incest baby.
Like,
look at that forehead.
Yeah, I think if he just said that, if he told everyone, hey, ladies and gentlemen, everyone in this town, Joffrey is the son of that other dude, Jaime. It's kind of weird because he could kind of fuck anyone. Pretty much everyone keeps calling him handsome.
Yeah, he's Jaime is considered not only the best swordsman in the realm, but the most eligible bachelor and the most handsome man in the realm as well.
Yeah, fuck. Just don't fuck your sister, dude. Probably it's because you want what you can't have type of thing.
Apparently, They've been doing shit since like they was kids.
Oh damn.
You heard her. In episode
Well, there had
7.
to be a.
We were in the womb together. We came into this world together. And we will leave it together.
Fucking together. Yeah, but I mean, you would think the dad knew. Like something, dads normally catch their sons masturbating, so like he might have catched him fucking his sister like several times. Like, don't come in. Oh shit. Okay, fuck. Okay,
yeah,
well
it's
then.
A big castle. They have the Castle Rock. You don't really get to see it much, but Castle Rock is a big castle, and they are very rich, so they probably have lots of servants to guard the door and play lookout.
What are they like rich of though?
The mines underneath Castle Rock are full of gold.
Oh shit.
And for thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years, no, I think thousands of years, the Lannisters have been using that gold to amass their immense wealth. Shit, what else? Oh, fucking Khaleesi fucking up.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I think the guy fucked up by like putting her inside when it was like clearly the witch said don't, but
That's true.
I feel
That's
like
true. The witch did say.
Now I feel like
you can't come back in here.
Now I feel like that the kid is dead. Like
The baby.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, but do you think Jorah knew that?
Yes, totally. Or else he wouldn't have fought the guy who was trying to go inside.
But why would he fight him, but then bring in Khaleesi?
I don't know. I'm gonna ask him.
Do you think he wants Khal Drogo's son to like not be in Daenerys? Maybe.
Basically, I think so.
It's a crazy angle. I don't think I've ever even thought of that.
Yeah, I think there's a reason. Like he I feel like at this point that guy's like, yeah, these Dothraki guys, they're kind of dicks.
We kept pleading with her, being like, we need to go. He's just, Khal Drogo's as good as dead, and once he's dead, they're gonna
massacre you.
They're gonna rape you, murder you, and cut that baby out of your stomach. And he's like, it sucks. It's like he kept saying like, oh, there's a port in Ashai. There's a port in Ashai. It's like, oh damn. Just run off. But you know how we were talking about like people who are like in abusive relationships and they get like attached. It's hard for them to like separate themselves.
Yeah, that's
literally what happened to Khaleesi.
Yeah, which is sad. I feel like that happens. It's just sad. It's so sad.
She got into an abusive relationship with a barbaric husband. Tried to win him over. Feels like she did. And then when it came down to the end, she couldn't leave him without trying even the craziest means. Blood magic, which is forbidden, Khaleesi. It's forbidden.
Well, we don't know if that didn't work. Oh, I don't know. But I feel like you're telling me that it doesn't work.
What do you think, dude?
I think the baby is gonna die.
Well, so then do you think she's gonna be happy with that?
No.
So like, does it work?
But he's gonna live.
Well.
Or that witch has been like
Well,
bad the whole time.
We'll see what the outcome is, but I mean, you're right to be like, wow, this is kind of fucked up. Everything that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying, if I'm in her shoes, you know, if I have the wherewithal to not. This is what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like, in an abusive relationship, you stick around until you give yourself every excuse to stick around. When in my mind, you know, Jorah's like, yo, we need to leave.
Yeah,
the smartest thing to do is to just leave right now. It's like, you know, the smart thing for her to do would be to listen to him, but she doesn't.
Because love is and the guy said it's like love is.
But
like
is that
the
love
weakness.
though? I mean, she was getting raped pretty fucking hard. I mean, in the show, you could say she's 16. In the books, she is every bit of 13.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Call the cops on this guy, right? The writer.
Call
right
the
now.
cops on the cow.
No, on the writer.
On the writer, George R. R. Martin.
Yep. There's something viciously wrong.
You can't do that, man. And the things that are viciously wrong with people are the things that we love about them. Stephen King has made a career out of that.
Well then, that's sad.
You're the one that wants to turn your pain and depression into comedy.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that you understand, but a lot of other people understand the experience of whatever it is. Traumatic. Whatever. Are vivid. And when you recount those experiences, people resonate with that.
Totally, yeah.
And, well, I mean, that's just for you to then try and do it. It's just a smart thing to do. Well, not smart, but it's natural. So, what you see, so you replicate it. Copycats, I guess. What else? Let's see here.
The Jon Snow. Like, what's he gonna do, pretty much?
Oh yeah, he's got a big moment. Big moment with one of my favorite reveals. My favorite reveals is that Maester. I always say Master. Maester Aemon is actually Aemon Targaryen.
Oh. But
The
did they know there was like another one?
did who know?
Like the people of the world?
He's mostly forgotten. He is the brother. He is one of the brothers that passed on the throne that eventually fell to
The Barthrath, yeah.
no, Aegon, Egg. There's a set of stories called Duncan Egg, Sir Duncan Egg, that George R. R. Martin wrote, and anyway. He passed on the throne, and instead, because he was actually studying to be a maester, and didn't think his vows coincided with somebody who could be on the throne. So he passed, and it eventually fell to Aegon the Unlikely, is what they call him, because he was like 6th in line or something like that, 5th or 6th in line. And after he became king, he had a son or two, and the son that became king after him was Aerys. And Aerys was the Mad King, and Aerys is Khaleesi's father. So Daenerys, Khaleesi,
Yes.
her dad was the Mad King.
Okay. Why was he called the Mad King again?
Because he was known to constantly talk to himself.
Oh, okay.
And also had a fascination with fire. And burning people alive was his favorite means of
Death.
in his latter years. For the first part of his, for the first, like, let's say half of his reign, he was completely fine. The realm flourished. Many great tournaments were ran. It was a great... there's no reason for anyone to think that the Targaryen dynasty was in any worse hands than it had been with Aegon the Unlikely, who actually brought the realm back from relative poverty the generation or two before that, because that was during one of the rebellions when they had half their family fucking try to fight and kill the other half of their family. But that's called the Dance of Dragons, and that's for another time.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool then.
He's the Mad King for a number of
Did
reasons.
they ever show him? Well, actually, I don't know.
But they keep mentioning him when they talk about the Mad King. I mean, obviously, but they call him that because at some point he seemed to go through a change, and some people attribute it to a time when he was captured and kidnapped and held for I forget how long, but supposedly talked with somebody or something, and from that encounter he was forever changed, and he had this huge fascination with fire, and immediately brought back the pyromancers that hadn't been used in generations from the time that they had last had dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically just flipped, and then started accusing people of. He became really paranoid. He started accusing people of plotting to overthrow him, and he just started killing people at random lords of houses. He would imagine.
So they could do a whole season on before, too, if they wanted.
They are doing a supposed
prequel.
Well, no, because it takes place. They're doing
the First War or whatever.
Okay, so George R.R. Martin, the guy who wrote this, has written enough manuscripts and material essentially for 10,000 years worth of histories. I know you giggled. I don't think you realize just how in depth it goes though, because there are 5 pilots that are planned, or not planned, I'm sorry. There are 5 pilots that were basically written and pitched and signed off to be made from HBO on Game of Thrones spin-off series.
Okay.
They all take place at different points in time, and for now only one is going to get greenlit for after Game of Thrones ends next year. That one is likely to be the front runner, is one that George R.R. Martin is co-writing the pilot with a screenwriter, and that one is based on the Age of Heroes, which takes place roughly 6,000 to 10,000 years before the events that we're watching right now. But it's where the first people with the name Stark and the first people with the name Lannister. Like Lannister, the house comes from the originator, supposedly, is this person who lived in the Age of Heroes. But you can't be sure. These people are fucking living in the goddamn Ice Age over here. And you're talking about 6,000 years ago. They don't have a written history. It's mostly oral. Like, they originate the Lannister household to a guy called Land the Clever, who supposedly tricked the previous lord, or the previous ruler of that area, out of his keep in Casterly Rock. How he did this is told in 100 different ways, in 100 different oral folk traditions, but it's hard to know what's real and what's not. Supposedly, the first Stark is the Bran the Builder, and he supposedly built the fucking 700-foot wall. So, the Age of Heroes is like a really weird and fantastical time to go back to.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of history on that part.
But the Targaryen dynasty is actually only the 300 years preceding what you're watching.
Like there's the newest.
Yeah, so if I were to make an analogy, the prequel that they're probably going to make is similar to watching a prequel set in Egyptian times, whereas right now we'd be watching something that's occurring modern day.
Yeah.
And then the Targaryen dynasty.
And you don't know that because it's a different world.
Well, another prequel that they might make is called The Dance of Dragons, and that one takes place about 200 to 150 years before that. So that's kind of like watching Revolution or the Civil War or something like that. Or if they did another one on actual Aegon the Conqueror, when he actually came over and supposedly conquered Westeros with his 2 sisters. I should say sister wives, because that's what they do. They marry to keep bloodlines pure. But that's because they're like almost like an elvish race. The Targaryens are almost like supernatural. Because like they uniquely alone seem to have an ability, like an affinity with dragons. Other people have affinities with animals, but
I could see it.
Well, you can see like John has a connection with ghosts.
And then there's the women that fucked goats. Unless that was a lie.
Yeah, I think they're speaking poetically.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
It's like these goat fuckers. I'm like, okay.
But their men are goats.
They say that about Indians.
Yeah, no, their men are goats. Like they are horses, etc., etc. People like there's a heavy you are an animal analogy for whatever people you are or whatever culture you are. Anyway, it would be cool to see the Aegon the Conqueror one. Apparently, his dragon, Baelor the Dread, was the largest and most fearsome dragon that ever lived. Its skull, you could fit the Iron Throne inside of it.
Wow. Well, that's not too big of a throne. Actually, though, there's a lot of stuff attached, so... Yeah.
Yeah. Huge. Like, there's artists' rendered drawings, like, approved by George R. R. Martin. And, like, the rider... like when they have a picture of like Aegon riding Valerion, it's always like a tiny little dude.
Who's Aegon?
Aegon the Conqueror. There's been multiple Aegons. It's a popular name in Targaryen culture, specifically because Aegon the Conqueror, when his family fled Valyria before it fell to 14 exploding volcanoes. His family alone of the Valyrian race, the old Valyrian race, had one of their family members had a premonition about 100 years before that they should leave, and they started taking their family and shipping them over to Westeros, to first to the other free cities, but then eventually to Westeros. And when they got there, they settled on Dragonstone. They started making trips to the mainlands, probably saw these primitive people to their eyes, because old Valyria was known for advanced technology similar to what we might think of Atlantis having.
Yeah. Okay. And then how old are the Dothraki race?
Well, they're probably just as old as they come from the lands of the grass
they're
people.
They're not like as civilized.
Well, no, they're just nomadic in the same sense that they live in Essos. It's a different continent and has different geography, and therefore it has different
rules on life.
Well, not just rules on life, but like more ancient cultures have evolved over there, right? So there's very definitive timings for when people migrated where in Westeros.
Yeah.
Like when the first men came, when the Andals came after that, when the Andals showed up in Essos, who was there before Essos, the old Geese Empire. Like I said, there's thousands of years worth of histories this guy has written, and they're all pretty fascinating. Because of like the cool things that he makes symbolic and whatnot. But the Dothraki, if I'm not mistaken, basically just come from the old Rhoynar people, the people who used to live along the Rhoyne River, and then at some point it dried up. And now people live in the grasslands, the nomadic. You have to see more of Essos before you can really get a grasp for just how large. Like, it's not just the Dothraki living there. The Dothraki are living in a very specific area of Essos, and they roam a very specific territory too.
How many more episodes are there?
Just one.
On the first season?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we made it.
Yeah. First season's almost over. We are about 9 months out. It's perfect. Another 6 seasons to go. I don't
even want to hear any complaints either. I've waited for years at this point for books that still have yet to come out. I've had questions answered that I've had for far too long by the people that I've never wanted them answered by.
Wow. I'm just enjoying there's some stuff I don't enjoy.
Like which parts?
Like animal murders. I'm like, bro, fuck,
When
dude.
they kill the raven, they can't let ravens escape. These are trained military animals.
Well,
at this point.
mainly the horses.
Oh, the blood sacrifice?
Oh my god, I just remembered that right now.
How is that? We watched Hereditary earlier, which is like one of the scariest films I think I've ever seen. That you're like, no, this is boring, this is stupid.
Yeah,
but the horse murder for the blood magic to bring Khal Drogo back, you're like, oh, this is too much.
I'm gonna have nightmares for sure.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Well, I am not a big fan of the Dothraki anymore. Like, at first I was like, okay, well, they've been suffering, kind of, not really. But they're assholes. Raping? Come on. There's other ways.
They honor them.
By raping them?
In their culture, that's how it is. They honor the women of the men that they kill when they go around steal women and children from villages. They honor them by planting the strong seed of the horse in them.
Oh god, no. Well,
in these silly sheep women and these silly goat women.
Well, I don't want a horse semen in me.
Is it fucked up? Yeah, but it's how the world goes around, man.
Yeah, over there. But shit, dude.
Everybody want to be a savage till it's time to do savage shit.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, you haven't seen American Animals. You should see American Animals. When that shit comes out on Netflix, people are gonna be like, oh, I should have went to go see that in theaters.
What? Animals?
American Animals? It's about these guys that tried to steal rare books and sell them on the black market.
Is it a documentary or like a movie?
Both.
Oh god. Well, it's based on true story. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Well, it has the people who did it in it.
Hey, would Gone Girl be considered a horror movie?
It's more like a crime thriller, right?
Yeah. That was a good movie.
It's
I don't know why.
It's not like anything that's like not without in the realm of possibility, at least a little bit.
Yeah, because I
you don't have to suspend your disbelief.
I remember
too much to.
I remember saying that.
Woman goes crazy and kills some people.
I remember saying that I hate Ben Affleck, and then in that movie, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm like, oh yeah, I need fucking Ben Affleck, stupid bitch, blah blah blah. He's an asshole, this and that, and then, oh, it's the girl. The girl is insane. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Ben Affleck. I like, please, that's all me. Like, woo, bitches be crazy. J-Lo, she was a crazy one. So, yeah.
My apologies to Ben Affleck. Thanks for listening. Please go to www.boardwhiledriving.com to check us out on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn, etc., etc. Follow us on Instagram at BoardwhileDriving and at Cash Money Gang. Follow us on Twitter at BWD Podcasts. Jesus, I have a hitch in my mouth. I have a dick in my mouth. What else? Wrapping up season 1. Looking to do a season 1 sort of game show episode. If you'd like to be involved, let me know. Other than that, thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for more. And keep your eyes off the road, because even though you're bored, you're driving, you're operating a vehicle. Let's not fuck this up right before we get all of the nice, fancy, automated ones. And everyone's safe, you know? Let's try to keep as many people alive before we can get there. Alright. That's my PSA for the day. Why am I doing this? Why am I still talking? Why am I still talking? Oh, there's a little bit extra. Armen and I are talking about a girl. I don't think he probably wants this heard on the podcast, but he doesn't listen to it, so fuck him. But not really. I mean, I love him, but there's nothing bad in it. It's all fun. And I think it brings up a good point. Thanks for listening, guys. Seriously. It means a lot.
What the fuck is that? Like, oh my god, I'm Aquarius and we're both air signs, and
Yeah, it still sounds like really poor flirting.
that means that we're compatible, like the most compatible.
That
like,
stuff like gets you. That's what hooks you in.
it doesn't hook me in.
When girls say dumb, retarded ass shit like that.
Well, it doesn't hook me in. I just think like, oh, this girl is just finding herself a reason why we should be together, type of thing.
She's giving herself an excuse to be.
She's giving herself, yes.
Yeah. So
herself.
Why does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me. It just fucking.
You should be cheering on that effort.
Yeah.
You should be welcoming. Yeah, whatever you need to tell yourself, lady. Yeah, I'm a Libra. Is that what's good for you? Sure it is.
Cool.
Great.
You know how many Libras there are? More than the others. Because it's
I would imagine there's. Roughly 8%?